Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Arc Reaction. This week we're talking about the latest story arc from Detective Comics by Manapul and Brian Buccellato. This week we're talking about Anarky. So it's wintertime in Gotham, and Anarky has appeared, blows a hole in Wayne Tower, and hands out masks to everybody after dismantling all digital records from, the internet, from the government internet. And this is a story that ties in Anarky to the Mad Hatter, and it's a fun exploration of those characters. But the more interesting and relevant part of the story is when Detective Yip shoots a man who is innocent. You see, during the chaos of Anarky's reign across the city, there are some bank robbers. Everybody in the city seems to be wearing these masks. One runs down an alley, Detective Yip shoots a man holding a mask, wrong man. This may seem a little familiar. You see, this comes in a very appropriate time with the events in Ferguson and all across the country, all the events that have happened since then, and concerns with police brutality, and the consequences of that. So, in this story, Detective Yip is actually covered up by the police department, and Batman takes the blame for shooting this kid. Yes, Batman takes the blame for shooting someone with a gun. Not a great cover-up by the police, but it's an interesting element, and that goes into the discussion, especially I think in issue 39 is where it shows up a lot. And it's always nice to see these sort of real-world political elements bleed into comic books. That's always great to see, and always leads somewhere interesting. The story in this, though, focuses more on this initial man who is Anarky, and his ties to the Mad Hatter, and that relationship more than the political end of things. I do personally wish that there was a little more exploration of the police end of things and the consequences of these riots. There's a moment in this story where I believe it's Batman and Alfred talking, and Batman's really concerned, or Alfred, one of them is really concerned because of all these riots and the fact that they've never seen them on this scale, and the only time they have in the past has always been a fear toxin. The story ends revealing that the masks actually have, spoilers, some Mad Hatter tech that is mind control. It feels sort of like a cheap out, where this was before really people legitimately rioting because they were upset with police and upset with the government and upset with their lot in life. It is sort of, the blow is eased, especially after the comment about this being a real riot. To take that away feels a little cheap. And of course, all the government stuff that's taken down is pretty quickly fixed by Batgirl off panel, off page. And those outs disappoint me a little, because I think this was a really great idea for some things that could be explored in the story that we don't really get an opportunity to see. Now, that said, Manapul and Buccellato do a great story here exploring Anarky and the ties to the Mad Hatter and those characters. Honestly, all that stuff is beautiful. I just wish that there was a little more long-term consequences, which maybe there will be, but I wish this story took a little more time to explore that. Still, it's Detective Comics, and it's my favorite version of Batman going right now, to see him in this noir setting, being a detective. To me, this is just, it really is just a beautiful book to look at. The winter setting is great, and it's really memorable. And even though it doesn't do absolutely everything I personally would like to see in a story like this, it's still really well executed and really well thought out and really well done in general. So it's probably worth a look, especially to encourage books like this and maybe see more exploration of modern topics in comic books, which is always great. So, yeah, there will probably be a write-up with some more thoughts on this that you can look at, let's say, here. And you should be subscribing up here and following us on social media and all of that stuff. I would love to hear your thoughts on this book and what they did with it, what they didn't do with it. And I hope to see you here next week so we can talk about something else. Adios.